Do you like my new logo and my new music? My name's Janine Driver. I'm the celebrity lie detector live every Wednesday night at 10 o'clock on Facebook Live, and then I put it on YouTube the next day, every Thursday. All right, who's next? Who do we have coming up? Oh boy, Elizabeth Holmes, the person we've all been waiting for. You've been writing to me for over a month now since I launched the show. Elizabeth Holmes, and why powerful liars are next to impossible to catch. Let's dive in. My name's Janine Driver. I'm so excited you're here. Be sure to like my page and follow me, whether you are on Facebook or you are over on YouTube. All right, where did my little video go here? Oh, here we go. Coming up. So the SEC says Elizabeth Holmes' fraud was worse than anyone. This Theranos employee described the culture of secrecy. Elizabeth Holmes' startup, she's a college dropout out of Stanford, unbelievable, raised millions and millions and millions of dollars. And how did she not get busted? How do you get really smart people investing in someone like this young woman with great ideas? So I wore on my black tonight, my black shirt in honor of Steve Jobs and Elizabeth here, which I shouldn't even put the two of them in the same sentence. It's insulting. Let's dive in. I'm going deeper on this tomorrow. I have a camera crew coming to my office for 4 hours. We're going to be doing a little production based on Elizabeth Holmes, because there's so much to cover and I want it to be really polished, and I want you to be able to look at it and send it to everybody and be like, holy crap, this was mind blowing. So that's coming tomorrow. What I'll be sharing tonight, I will not be sharing tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing some new content. And let me tell you, there's one thing I'm going to be talking about. And if the people in your life are doing it, you need to run for the hills. I can't wait to get that videotaped for all of you.
Without consulting doctors. Giving people the right to obtain a laboratory test will, by definition, begin the process of enabling them to engage in their health.
Ms. Holmes, you are magnificent, and there isn't a question any of us could ever ask that you haven't answered 20 or 30 times before.
This law would allow you to order your own blood work and you get the results.
This is what Theranos puts out. It's a menu. You kind of order a la carte, but there are some cautions raised from the medical community.
All right. Do you see how proud she is of herself when they're like, you're amazing. You answered all the questions, even that we may even not even have them as questions. And she's like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Who wouldn't be? You know, basic human need is significance. Who wouldn't be pretty excited about that? My son Angus just told me tonight he came in first in track out of his group today. So, and he was full of that same like, guess what, Mom? I think I did pretty well in track today. Well, guess what? We have her here, right? Elizabeth is so confident. Every move that she's doing, she's very controlled. As a matter of fact, people who were interviewed by Elizabeth Holmes said she never blinked. In an interview, they would walk out and they would say, the weirdest thing was I walked out of that interview and saying, she barely blinks. She barely blinks. Well, there's a question to ask. And when that question is asked by a reporter, the blink rate skyrockets. We're going to count it together.
Look into the lens. We thought it'd be interesting to ask you, in the year 2025, what's the thing you're most certain about?
More people will have access to their own health information.
What do you dream for something in 2025?
That less people have to say goodbye too soon to people they love.
That's great. Can you tell us a secret?
I don't have many secrets.
Look into the layers. We thought it'd be interesting to ask you, in the year 2025, what's the thing?
Yeah, first things first. Her fake realty voice, her fake voice is not real. My name is Janine Driver. I am the celebrity lie detector, and we'll be going over the Elizabeth Holmes interview this evening and how we could spot a liar. Even if you are a incredibly powerful liar, there's always a question or two that can throw you off base. And for Elizabeth, it's a different question here than for some of the other people who are really good at lying. Again, my name is, she did this all the time, but you'll see a change in her voice when she's doing an interview under a court of law in a couple minutes. All right, so this is what I want you to notice is look at her blink rate, listen to how she talks. She answers the question right out of the gate until the question comes, which I love this question. Tell us a secret. Tell us a secret. You know, what's a secret? Tell us a secret. Instead of tell me something you're lying about. So this is great. If you think your kids are holding something back, instead of saying, I think you're lying here, say, tell me a secret and see how they respond. And then listen to all that squishy language. I think she said something like, I don't usually have a lot of secrets. So let's break that down too in a minute.
You're most certain about. More people will have access to their own health information. What do you dream for? Something in 2025. That less people have to say goodbye too soon to people they love. That's great. Can you tell us a secret? I don't have many secrets.
I don't have many secrets indicates what? I don't have many secrets. I don't have many secrets indicates what? She has some. We didn't ask you if you had many. We just said, tell us a secret. And she says, I don't have many secrets. I'm not going to go into Tom Brady, but you can do a little Google. I'll bring him up maybe another time. But when Tom Brady's asked, did you cheat in the baseball with Deflategate? Do you remember what Tom Brady answered? How did Tom Brady answer? You'll have to Google that one. It might surprise you. And I'm a Pats fan, and especially a Tom Brady fan. All right, so let's look at it again. We're going to look at the blanks, and then we're going to go to that next question. So right out of the gate, smiling. Oh, this is the lying question. Hold on.
Look into the lens. We thought it'd be interesting to ask you, in the year 2025, what's the thing you're most certain about? More people will have...
Without a beat, what's the thing you're most certain about? More people will have. This is the line that she's memorized. She says it all the time. Look at the blanks, okay? So how many blanks do we have here with this question? What is the thing you're certain about?
Will have access
One.
to their own health information.
One. Now, more people have access to their health information, but her voice goes down. Her tone of voice goes down, which is indicative of someone being deceptive, because 85% of the time when we lie, we have a change in our tone and pitch. It's probably because she knew it wasn't going to happen. Excuse me. And I'm eating an orange. If you saw me sneak an orange, but because it's after midnight and I've been eating dinner because I was getting this presentation ready for you guys. And don't tell me in the notes on YouTube, you don't need to eat an orange and tell us about eating an orange. If you do that, I'm going to delete you and block you from my page. Just enjoy the material.
What do you dream for?
All right, how many blanks?
Something in 2025.
One, as we get into it.
That less people have
Two.
to say goodbye too soon to people they love.
Two blanks.
Can you tell us a secret?
All right, ready? Let's count the blanks. So who do we have? Someone said 15. Laurel says 15 blanks. I think Laurel's right. All right, let's check it out. All right, here we go. Let's count these blanks. And by the way, and then I'll talk about how many seconds it is. So let's back it up. So we're starting at the question comes here. Tell me a secret. So 25. So I'm going to write down 25. This is what I do. And then we're going to see how many seconds. So count the blanks and I'll count the seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 13 there, but someone said 15. So let's go again.
Tell us a secret.
So secret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, one for the road. So 16, all right. So we started at 25 seconds And she answered right here. Let's see how long of a pause that was. That's long. That's like a Susan Smith pause.
I don't have many secrets. I don't have many.
Boom. 30. All right. So 5 hardcore seconds without saying anything. That's Mac Daddy. That's Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was 5 seconds or 7 seconds. That's unbelievable. So yeah, there's a lot of blinking. Bottom line is there is a lot of blinking happening. The first 2 questions, we see 1 or 2 blinks, and then all of a sudden we see, 15, 16, 17 blinks in a question. This says to me, massive hotspot. Immediately, you know what? This lady has a lot of secrets and she's not going to be telling us. And when we see that change in that behavior, and that deviation in her normal behavior, this is what we call a hotspot. And it's an increase in stress and anxiety happening here for sure. I want you to watch, look at too, the chin dimples a little bit here. So there's some sadness happening.
I don't have many secrets.
All right.
I don't have many secrets.
All right. I want you to notice, did you hear the sound effect she did for us? Listen to this. I'll loop it for you. This is called tut-tutting. Tut-tutting. Okay. So I want to remind you of a little thing called your childhood. And when you screwed up, for me, it was my Nana. Where'd it go? That tut-tutting. It's literally called tut-tutting. That's the word for it. Isn't that crazy? So the tongue comes behind the teeth. And it's breathing in as you breathe in. And so when you hear a little tut-tut that we hear just after this, 7 seconds of silence, and then Elizabeth Holmes begins with I don't really have much secrets. This is, think about it, annoyance. This is stop asking me that question. She's literally breaking her eye contact, and now she makes that sound effect. It's disagreement or something is wrong here. So if you're in a meeting and you're in sales and you're negotiating and someone gets ready to share about your pitch and you hear that, they're letting you know there's something they're not happy about. There's something they disagree with. There's something, they don't want you to go down this line of questioning. There's something they're not happy about. So I want you to start listening for that little teeny sound effect. It's small. Yeah, I think you did a great job today. You did a great job. They're telling you there's something I don't like. There's a disagreement. Is this cool? Is this rocking your world? You guys loving that? I think it's a cool little tip. When I heard that, I'm like, oh, she's tut-tutting. It's not easy to find the tut-tuts here on television. So I'm so excited. Thank you, HBO. Thank you, HBO. All right, as we wind down, I can't believe Celebrity Lie Detector Live is almost done. And this information right now is going to change your life forever because you are a powerful liar and you didn't even realize it. And I'm going to prove it to you that you are a powerful liar. Why did people not bust this Elizabeth who's, swindled millions of dollars from the heavy hitters, even Warren Buffett, man, Warren Buffett. How is that possible? I'm going to talk about the difference now between powerful liars and a not powerful liar, the everyday liar. So the powerful liar, I have the big kitty. I have the tiger here. And then the not powerful liar, I have a little teeny tiny baby kitty. Because there are different things. I just did, right? Because there are different things going on. That's interesting. By the way, you can't unnotice when you yourself do something. So when you do something, you have to say, wait, was that a tut-tut or was that the orange that I'm eating? I don't know. So I'll have to explore that afterwards and wonder what's on my mind. Probably the fact that it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm exhausted. All right, let's go over the difference between powerful liars and not powerful liars. And this is why we were unable to bust Elizabeth for so long. And this is why these multi-billionaires and millionaires got swindled by her because she was a powerful liar. She had a vision, she had a dream, and it's why she's able to detect, to lie to us, and we're unable to detect it for some time. Versus now, when the whole deck of cards is falling down, she's not that great of a liar. And so I brought a short video to show you right at the very end before I tease next week's episode. Here's what happens. The powerful liar focuses on the rewards, and the everyday liar, the not powerful liar, focuses on the consequences. I want you to think about that. So the powerful liar focuses on the rewards. Well, is Elizabeth Holmes a powerful liar? Do you think when she lied, she focused on the rewards? Yes, I would believe so. If I was a betting woman, which I'm not, I would bet yes. She was thinking of the greater good. I do think she wanted to change the world. I do think that she probably is not crazy about needles. I do think she probably had an uncle that she may have not said goodbye to. She said she had an uncle who died of cancer and that, went all over his body, and she didn't get to say goodbye to him. And he didn't get to raise his son, or I think it was his son. So do I think she had a positive vision? Yes, I think she got ahead of herself and just, became mad with power. So she's focusing on the rewards. When someone is focusing on the rewards, it's really hard to detect deception. As a matter of fact, if you have not seen the documentary on HBO with Elizabeth Holmes, her story, take a second to watch it. You can buy HBO on the go and put it right on your cell phone. That's how I watch it. Mind-boggling. And in there, you hear the amazing therapist, psychologist, Dan Ariely, talk about a study that was done with dice, and how when you roll the dice, if you get, let me make me bigger here. When you roll the dice, you get the amount at the top of the dice. So if it's a 6 at the top of the dice, I give you $6. Well, if there's a 6 at the top of the dice, just to let you know, the number at the bottom of the dice touching the table, the number down here is a 1. So 6 and 1. And how the exercise works is they tell you mentally in your head, you can think top or bottom. So if you roll a 1, you would then tell the experimenter, yeah, but in my head, I thought bottom. So then you get $6. Does that make sense? So I wish I had a dice here. I should have brought a dice. All right, look right here. This is my big giant dice. Can you tell my mother of 3 sons? All right, so this is my big dice. I roll the dice. Up here is a 6 at the top of the dice. At the bottom of the dice is a corresponding 1. So the 1 is hitting the table right here, or my computer screen. 6 is facing up. So I should get $6, right? But what if I was thinking in my head, they give you an option to think bottom. Because when I roll the dice and the 1 is at the top, I'm only going to get $1. But if I lie to you and say, oh no, I was thinking bottom, you'll give me the $6. And they do this like 30 times. Excuse me. So it's going to add up. When they then ask people, did you lie? It's like through the roof. Almost everybody lies and says the higher number, so they get the more money at the bottom. However, when they're hooked up to the polygraph machine, the deception goes through the roof. They're able to spot the people who lie on the polygraph. Let's do the exercise again. When you play the game again, and the money you're getting goes to your favorite cause or some type of cause that you believe in, guess what? And you lie, and 1 is at the top of the dice, and you say, no, I was mentally thinking bottom, so give me $6. When you lie and you know that money 100% is going to this charity or this nonprofit, to some type of cause, the polygraph doesn't pick up on people lying. Why? Because they focus on the rewards, not the consequences. So they have nothing to lose here. There's no consequence that's big enough. So this is what happens. So you focus on the consequence. If you are an everyday liar, you focus on the rewards as a powerful liar. Cortisol, the cortisol level in a powerful liar in the moment of lying. So when she's up on these television interviews, or she's interviewed by Forbes for the cover of their magazine, she said all this stuff in Forbes that was not even true. It was all lies. But you have a decrease in cortisol if you're a powerful liar. You literally get off on the lie, where the everyday liar has a spike in cortisol. Cortisol is that stress hormone that's released in our body when we're stressed. A powerful liar has an increase in positive emotions. So in the moment of lying. So we look at someone like Elizabeth Holmes, and we know, you see it. Well, she's up there in front of Congress or on a television show or any of these things, and she's an increase in happiness after each lie that she's telling you with severe confidence. right? Because she's a powerful liar. The everyday liar, when we lie, I put angry bird here because we have a decrease in positive emotions and the angry bird comes out. All right, so we can get angry or nervous or sad, but there's a decrease in positive emotions for the everyday liar. And last but not least, the powerful liar in the moment of lying has an increase in cognitive thinking. And this means they're able to go from one lie to another really quickly. Jodi Arias slaughtered her ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander. Brutal. And when she did, my brain just went off to, I was in the courtroom and saw Jodi Arias. I sat with her, Travis Alexander's family in like the second or third row. But when Jodi Arias was busted, she had one story after another. Oh, I wasn't there. I was with my new boyfriend in another state camping. Yeah, but we have your DNA evidence there. Yeah. Okay, I was there. I didn't want to say anything, but these people came in. First of all, people don't come in and then kill somebody. They break in, they sneak in. You don't know how they got in. They don't come in. These couple people came in and killed Travis and told me if I said anything, they'd kill me and my family. Then the cops go, yeah, the problem is your DNA that we're talking about is a handprint on the wall at Travis Alexander's apartment in his blood. So there's a handprint on the wall, her handprint, and the handprint is in his blood. She's like, I was a battered woman. And I have audio tapes to prove it of all these crazy sex things he made me do. She was taping him and all their little crazy sex conversations. And now all of a sudden she's a battered woman. This is what I'm saying. She was a beautiful woman. She was physically fit, attractive, charming, it seemed. And so she's a powerful liar. So she has an increase in that cognitive thinking. Casey Anthony, the same thing. The everyday liar that doesn't have a power, guess what? We have a decrease in positive thinking. So when your boss calls you in and says, I need to talk to you in my office right now. The powerful liar comes in and is like, yeah, what's up, boss? Yeah, you wanted to talk to me? You know what I want to talk to you about. You're 25 minutes late again, right? But they come in, yeah, what's up? Yeah, what's happening? You know these people, right? These are the powerful liars. They're like, they don't sweat it. But the everyday liar, they're like, I'm sorry, I was late. I'm sorry, I know. I'm going to work on it. I'm working on it. Right? We fall apart. We have a decrease in positive emotions and our cognitive thinking just shuts down. When one lie doesn't work, we just lose it. We lose it. Why is this important to you at home? It's important to you because there are people right now who are lying to you. And despite watching my channel or, reading any of my books, this is one of my books, You Can't Lie to Me. Reading my books, this one, or You Say When You Think, or reading Joe Navarro has a new book out, a body language dictionary book, retired FBI agent. It's an amazing book. My friend Mark has a book. Whatever book you're reading or whatever knowledge you have, there are people lying to you right now that you're probably not going to detect because they are powerful liars. And you yourself are a powerful liar, and I'm going to prove it. Have you ever told your kids there's a Santa Claus? I don't want to say it loud because I have 3 kids and my 2 youngest believe. Have you ever told your kids there's a Santa Claus or an Easter Bunny or a tooth fairy, right? And what happens when you go to visit your mom and dad at Christmas time and they don't have a fireplace and your kid says to you, we can't go to Boston to see Grandma and Poppy at Christmas time. Grandma and Poppy don't have a fireplace. Mom? And you say, what? Really quickly with a smile on your face, focusing on the rewards, decreasing cortisol, increasing that cognitive thinking. You know what you say? Oh, you didn't know? Santa, like he can make the reindeer fly. He gives them this like special dust. He puts it around the house. And when we sleep at night, everything floats up and he comes under the house, brings the gifts in, and then lets us all float back down. And your kid doesn't buy it. Your kid's like, yeah, Mom, I don't believe that. And you're like, all right. I don't want to say anything, but Santa can shrink down into a little teeny keyhole size Santa and the presents, and he climbs through the hole. And when he comes back in, everything pops up big, right? What are you doing? Look at this. You're focusing on the rewards. There's a decrease in cortisol. You're not stressed out. You have an increase in positive emotion. You slap a smile on because you want the kid to buy it, your story, your BS. And then you have this increase in cognitive thinking. When one lie doesn't work, another one comes up to you really quick. Finally, you end up saying what? All right, don't tell Grandma and Poppy. I didn't want to say this, but you busted me. I leave the back door unlocked so Santa can come in. And then I write a note, dear Santa, please lock the door when you leave. And your kid goes, oh, okay, we can go to Grandma and Poppy's. Guess what happens after that conversation? Do you feel bad? No. You call your friend up and you're like, dude, I totally just came up with this awesome one that I can make the deer float and the house floats up. I know. I don't even know where it came from. I should write these things down. All the things to say when your kids ask if Santa's real. You get proud of yourself, right? So this decrease in stress, you yourself are a powerful liar. Any person in a position of power. As a matter of fact, I write in my book a case study where they have people sitting in cubicles and one person's asked to lie. And the person who is the person in the cubicle lying, they measure stress and anxiety on the polygraph, and people can detect deception with their nonverbals and their body language, and their statements. The people who are put in the supervisor office with the glass windows, when they're asked to take $100 out of the book and lie about it, if they took it, they show no signs. And if they show any, it's very little signs of deception. So, they say all power corrupts. Last but not least, and then we're going to be out of here. Hope you've had as much fun as I have. Thanks for sticking in there for the Facebook Live, people, man. Because this was a late start. Here we go. This is the last video. This is our friend Elizabeth Holmes talking to a little place called the Security Exchange, people. Watch this. Notice a change in her tone of voice and listen to and look at all her uncertainty, all her charisma. Where'd it go? Where's your charisma?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Suddenly, the woman who always seemed to have all the answers
We are the only lab company that is actually really focused on leading with transparency.
now had none.
I don't know specifically. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly. I just don't know.
With Theranos' claims now under the microscope,
Did it concern you that a number of tests weren't working on Theranos' devices?
her carefully crafted narrative began to unravel, like those dramatic claims she peddled to board members like George Shultz, the former Secretary of State.
Was Theranos' technology deployed in emergency rooms, hospitals, and provider offices?
No.
Was a Theranos manufactured device ever deployed in the battlefield?
No.
Was it ever deployed in a medevac helicopter?
She was challenged sentence by sentence on what she told Fortune in that star-making cover story.
Is the statement that Theranos currently offers more than 200 and is ramping up to offer more than 1,000 of the most commonly ordered blood diagnostic tests, all without the need for syringes? Was that statement correct?
Reading it now, I don't think it is.
And there was another significant detail that she had been less than forthcoming about.
Were you and Sunny Balwani ever engaged in a romantic relationship?
Yes.
When?
For a long period of time.
Would you say for the majority of that time were you living with Miss Holmes? Yes.
Did you ever tell investors that you had a romantic relationship?
Personally, me talking to investors one-on-one, telling them my relationship, no, I didn't.
It was concealed from the board.
All right, look at her eyes here. So we call this the four whites of her eyes. We saw this with O.J. Simpson when he was asked about Bruno Magli's shoes, if he owned them, and he said no. And then they show him a picture of him wearing Bruno Magli's shoes, and it's important because there were Bruno Magli's shoe prints at the scene of the crime. And he looks at this picture, and we see the four whites. So we see the four whites of Elizabeth's eyes. So let me move me out of the way here. This is important because this is important to notice because this
From
is true
the board.
fear, right? So
Do
that
you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth?
The board?
I want to get to that eyes right here. All right, this is fear. So I want you to imagine north, south, east, and west. So when we imagine like a compass, north, south, east, and west, right? When you say all white, her eyes tend to bug out anyway. She doesn't get a lot of sleep, so her eyes are always bloodshot. But if you look at the four whites of her eyes, and this indicates true fear. You'll see this, it's taking in as much information as possible, and you'll see the four whites happen. Sometimes you can see this on surprise. However, it's more likely that you see this in fear. And surprise, this bottom part of the eye often is kept up a little bit. So the top might open wide, but you're not going to get this down part opening up wide. So when we see the whites of our eyes, when fear is here, the whites of our eyes appear. So when fear is here, the whites of our eyes appear. Look at her. She's potentially going to jail for a long time, folks. My name's Janine Driver. I hope you had as much fun as I did.
Nothing but the truth.
I do.
Suddenly, the woman who always seemed to have all the answers
We are the only lab company that is actually really focused on leading with transparency.
I'm loving this word, actually. She says, actually. Actually is a word that compares two competing thoughts. So did you buy the red car? Actually, I bought the blue car. So sometimes it's obvious, like, did you buy the blue car? No, I bought the red car, right? Did you have fun at the party? Actually, I had a good time. They're telling you no that they thought something other than a good time they were going to have. So you could just simply, anytime someone says, actually, I say this, any actuallys should be an alarm for you to say, as compared to what? As to compared to what did you expect? What were you thinking was going to happen? And very calmly, not aggressively. I'm kind of doing it aggressive right now, but why? As compared to what? Do it more confused. As compared to what? What were you thinking? What'd you end up doing this week? What did you do this weekend? Actually, I took my son to a bar mitzvah of a friend of his. You would then say, why? What were you planning on doing? Or eliminate your why. Just say, what were you planning on doing instead? Ask your what. I would say bye to why, allow how, what and how questions, or what and how. Why questions make people feel judged. So it actually indicates two competing thoughts. So can we figure it out? Maybe we could guess, but the better question would be just to ask Elizabeth, as compared to what, Elizabeth? Listen to the actually.
On leading with transparency.
now had none.
I don't know specifically. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly. I just don't know.
With Theranos' claims now under the microscope, did it concern you that a number of tests weren't?
I don't know specifically. On leading focused, that is actually really focused. On leading with is actually really focused. That is actually really focused. We are the only lab company that is actually really focused on leading with transparency.
now had none.
Leading with transparency. That's hysterical. My name's Janine Driver. I am the celebrity lie detector. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I'll see you next week, Wednesday at 10 o'clock, live on Facebook. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'll be posting this tomorrow. Every Thursday, I'll be posting the videos from the night before. I'm looking at some questions before we say goodbye here. Let me see what I have for questions. 250 comments. My goodness. Thanks for being here on Facebook Live, everybody. I'm so excited. I see one person was asking, can liars be habitual and just talk about a bunch of lies? The answer is yes. Yes, they can. You don't have to worry about your kids. Kids are sponges, so you have to just change what they absorb in front of them. So yeah, if your husband's telling lies all the time, you got to figure that out, because if your husband's not transparent, your kids are going to absorb that. And make sure you get rid of the word lies. Instead of saying to your husband, that's a lie, stop lying. I know you're lying about this. You always lie. I'm going to invite you to reframe that and say what you want instead of what you don't want. Start assigning your kids the traits you want them to have. You're a truth teller. Even when it's a challenge to tell the truth, I know you always do the right thing, right? Watch my cooperation paradigm, my TEDx talk over on here on YouTube. So check it out on YouTube, cooperation paradigm. It talks about assigning people the traits. You're a great liar, Joanna. Santa Claus. She's just Maya Angelou. Yeah, that was from earlier. Thank you so much for telling me. I can't believe I blanked on her. I just quoted her today when I was at over at Homeland Security. My dad is a tool. Aw, Michael Busa. Anyway, I'm so glad that you guys are all here. Mike, thanks for always cheering me on and making sure everything goes okay. I will see you all next week. Be sure to like my page, share it, and send me links. If there's something you want me to analyze, send me a link, not just the topic. Send me the link. My name's Janine Driver. I'm your celebrity lie detector. Have a good night, everybody. And for next week, if you want to know what the episodes are, that's right. I know you've all been waiting for. He's back. Do you remember this guy, Stephen Avery? Oh, yeah. To Catch a Murderer. He is back. And I am so excited. I watched every single second about 55 times. I know a lot about the Stephen Avery case. I'm excited to see what's out there in the media right now. And I'll get back to you on it next week, what I find out. And I did not have time to watch this case with little Madeline McCann. I know her parents had paid an investigator to look for her, and he They paid him a lot of money and he ended up dead. And it was suspicious. I'm not saying they did it, it just was foul play, they think. He ends up dead. So I don't know what's going on with them, but I know there's a documentary out there. I want to say it's like 8 hours long. I just didn't have the time this week. I will make time this coming week. I'm going to download it on my computer. My name is Janine Driver. Boom. My job is done here. I'll see you guys all next week. Thanks for playing with me. Those of you on Facebook Live that stayed up, you're the best. You're the best. Bye, everybody. Now I'm going to finish my orange. I love you guys. Here's to you. Make smart decisions. Protect you, your family, your friends, and your finances. Over and out.